Hello, it is a full moon in Taurus. Went exact yesterday morning, but if you were like me, I spent most of yesterday just taking that massive amount of energy in. And so today I'm feeling more of the energy of, okay, I can do something with this energy now. And I figured, why not do that live in case anybody wants to do what I'm doing or something like what I'm doing. So hopefully the music that I'm running is not bothering. I just want to begin by just taking a moment to center in and create an intention with you for this ritual space. So every time I go into a ritual space, just simply declare it. So I'm declaring this space as sacred and putting a circle around me and around this ritual space, which includes anyone who's coming here to the screen to visit. So, welcome, namaste. Acknowledging the divine, which is ever prevalent and existing. In fact, I'm acknowledging right now that everything is ritual space. I'm just choosing to tune into this one that I'm in, this now. And sort of, rope it off so I can really take in the essence of my immediate space. Expanding huge is awesome, and getting the microcosmic view is also awesome. So the first thing that's coming in is just for me to go ahead and share this stream. Facebook. Hello to Facebook. Okay, so with me on the full moon, we have this ripe, full energy. And with it, there's an acknowledgement that the fullness has come from a state of not fullness, the state of the dark moon. And now it's here, and then it goes again to the dark moon. So it's like this is the full delivery, like the orgasmic climax moment. And with that, there is this wave, this rush of everything that has come our way over this last couple of weeks, this last cycle. New awarenesses, downloads, release, people coming, going. This whole happening is now at a climactic moment. So sitting in that, I want to honor, first of all, just the energy charge around that without all the specificities, just the charge of it. And that's kind of what I feel the Scorpio energy says, is feel the wave in its entirety. Feel the energy coming from it. And then allow it to fill in, ground in. It's like Scorpio's fixed, so it's like contained water. So now we have this Taurus energy grounding this container of experience. And the bright moon is like, what is going to be illuminated? Come forward. So I want you to sit with that question right now and consider what in the self is ready to be illuminated. Asking myself, what is ready to come more fully forward? I'm getting certain things like more precise organization management method for all of the swirling madness, because I'm honoring the swirling madness of all the stuff popping into my reality all the time. And now I also kind of want to contain it, or I want to give it a place to develop further. So that can feel like containment, just like a relationship container can feel restricting at first. In that container, like more development can happen. So if you take a plant even and you only give it a certain space to grow in, it's going to fill that possibility up rather than just running all over the yard, maybe in smaller patches. It is going to kind of find expression. So, two, now we have all this energy accessible and we're wanting to allow it to be defined in a beautiful expression, art piece, song, particular offering. We're packaging up our essence and allowing it to be delivered like this, or like this, or like this. And who knows, maybe that like this thing is a shape-shifting thing. So it can sometimes look like this. But when we speak possibilities, so I'm going to go into different realms of experience for us. So if you're a parent, if you're not, you can just kind of continue in the quiet space or how you support this subject. If you're a parent, for me, I'm really feeling my children are high value. I'm going to prioritize and give energy into expression of those things that are of our highest value. And right now, the energy is really like Jupiter's about to go to Sagittarius. Like everything's about to blow up huge and magnify hugely. Where are your values? Like, what are the things you value most? So I think of my children and what they want from their lives, what they're showing interest in. So I had my youngest tell me yesterday, hey, if you could choose any classes that you want to take, what would they be? And he said them out loud. Maybe I can be a singing class. I can sing better. You know, and I can't remember the other ones he said. Oh, he wants to do gymnastics, he said. And my oldest wants to do theater class. So these things are popping out. And I'm like, okay, taking them at the top of my list of where this abundance can stream to is my children. And then I'm looking back here at self and like, okay, what are all my creations that I want to nurture more? Like going around and watering all the plants in our lives. You know, what things have you put time and energy into that you would like to see grow? So ponder that. Maybe even take a moment to write what those things are. What things in your life do you want to see grow? Just for an example, I have some books that I've published already, like over the past 10 years. And a book as old as 10 years ago. I published my first book, The Chocolate Fast. I'm looking for a copy in here, but I know there's one outside the door. And I'm like, I love that book. That book just embodied so much of what I still believe to be true. And it really hasn't done much. And I haven't really put a lot of energy behind the marketing of that book. And then I have other books that I'm starting to put into some of my online courses, like the Conscious Sexuality course that just launched for me. I read an excerpt and I'm recommending that book. And my Alchemy of Relationship course contains 3 of my books. But it's like something you've created. What is something you have created that you want to see grow? And that's something for me. Maybe it's a song you wrote, or maybe it's something you wrote. Maybe it's another craft or art, or maybe money into a fund for travel. Maybe you want to learn something and you've been putting it off, or you've learned it a little but stopped. For me, also music is one of them. So what else do you want to see grow? And then the next question might be, what do I know is going to require my energy? What do I already know? It's going to require my energy, and I just need to set the intention right now for that I will have the energy for it. I will have resources for it because I already know it's precognated resources needed. So it's like, how do I need to prepare my energy to receive that so it can go out again? So what do I already know? I need money for or resources for. Like if you know that your time is going to be needed at a specific hour, say every week, then that's a resource of yours. Your time is a resource. So you can go, okay, so yesterday with the full moon, this is part of my organization thing, I just wrote up a quick like sketch of a calendar, right? I'm like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and just the dates for the next month because I'm looking at a whole cycle. And I blocked off hours that I know that my time is being required. So those are the ones I know every week. And then I'm going to start like putting in other things, like people that schedule times, those are going to go in. Things that I have pre-scheduled. And then things that I would like to do that are going to require resources, they can also have a time blocked out so that you really begin to get an idea of where you need to show up, like how much your energy is required. And I really like to see a lot of blank spaces personally. And then the ones that do fill up, just make them good ones. It's like, how thin do you want to spread yourself? You also need to bank on having rejuvenating days. Like, I really don't feel like I should be working every single day, even though part of me feels trained to do that. Like a couple of good days, more than 2, that's a standard weekend. 3 or 4 days that are self-rejuvenating, self-love, play, discovery, meet people out in the world days. And if you have, I believe, even 3 days that you are putting it in, you're putting in the time, you're booking the schedule. That doesn't mean you can't have things scheduled the other nights, but really hardworking, at least for me as an entrepreneur, if I schedule my sessions during 3 particular days and they get full, I know that's going to be a lot from me. Those are full days. And then I do want a recovery day. I do want to feel. Some of you may do it different. Maybe you just want to do 1 session a day, have like a whole day. However you want to do it. I just want to emphasize free time, space. That's where we breathe and we rejuvenate our energy. And we're way more, like 100 times more productive in the smaller places if we've had big breathing room spaces. So if that's been impossible for you because of a 9-to-5 job or something like that, then let's breathe into that and just ask, how can I feel more space in my day? Can I be more productive in shorter amounts of time? If that's what you feel. So, the question that we asked was, where do I already know that I need it or that money is needed? So the calendar thing helps me, and then also writing a list of, I know that say, rent is this much, this bill is this much, I need this much for blah blah blah, and like all the things written down next to my calendar. So I'm like, okay, this is where my energy is going, physical body, so forth. This is where my money energy is going, or the abundance energy that's manifesting as funds, looking like this. Okay, so then I need to look at a balance to that also. So the empty space is showing me where I have renewal time. And then I want to put on another page, like what things are high priority self love things for me. So high priority self love things. And that's going to balance, like if you're spending out, you need to also be knowing when you're going to be cashing in. So let's just look at time, energy as a resource. So what things that you love and that nourish you, take care of you. So like I might say yoga is a high priority, that I spend time every day doing at least some yoga, and that some of those days is extra long sessions that I have yoga, and then I would put that into my schedule so that I know that's something that I already know is nourishing and filling up me. Then I might say, park time with the kids or outside time with the kids that I know is not only going to rejuvenate them, but when they're feeling good, it's going to rejuvenate me. So then I would, even if that time period changes, at least block off a couple of spaces so your energy knows that's happening. And you can always change around. Oh, we can't go today because it's raining. We're going now, whatever. But the calendar is not so much to be super like OCD about it and get attached to the times, but just look at where the energy is going so that it can be like prepared for ahead of time. We can precognate where our energy is going and coming from. And that just allows us to be really, really present. It's part of this in and out tube Taurus free energy thing. Just get a vision for a moment where it's all going for a cycle. And then sit in that feeling of the coming and going, feel their equality. Okay, so let's get back to high priority self-love things. Yoga, park with kids, think of what things are important to you. Like I would even count getting a smoothie every day, making my own smoothie every day. That's nourishing to my body. I also like to do, my own personal body massage with coconut oil after my showers. It's already just worked into my schedule. So like I never don't do that unless I'm literally like at someone's house and we're racing, but it's pretty much scheduled in already. So I already know my shower includes that. It just doesn't even, it's not even a thought anymore. So if you have things like that you want to implement, like I want to be oil pulling on a regular as well. So not only body, but I want to also do my mouth. So I want to schedule that in as self-nourishment instead of like, oh gosh, I have to oil pull again and I forgot. Like not making it a punishment, but making it like, hey, I want to have really healthy teeth. I know that this is going to help me if I do this, and I just need to put the coconut oil in my mouth before I get in the shower. Like to me, that's the easiest thing. No one's trying to talk to me. I don't always need to talk to myself out loud in the shower. Sometimes I do. And so oil pulling in the shower, and maybe that means I need to set up a little station right by the shower that makes it easy for me to do that. Coconut oil, a spoon, and everything. And these self-love items can also be things that you would like to accomplish in your business that you know are going to make you feel really good. Or crossover between business and creative arts. Like for me, I would like to get up on stage and do an act, but I'm not really looking at it as a money maker, though I know it could potentially be that. Like if people think they like me. But for my own self love, I know I would like to push myself in that way because I feel that in me wanting to be expressed more. So yeah, so I'm wanting to schedule that into the cycle, even if it's just going to show up in a small way, so I can invest in myself energetically. What where that's going to show up. Like if I already write it down and I prepare, okay, that's going to show up for me. I'm already attracting it. I'm becoming the force of attraction. Okay. So we have three segments. I feel like there's another one. So we have what are the things in life that I want to see grow? Okay. So we went through that, and it could be money, it could be a certain project that you're putting interest in. I said my kids, I want to see them feeling more connected to their stuff. I said my books, what things you want to see grow. And where do I already know that I'm already scheduled out? My time, my energy is scheduled out. And where do I already know that I am owing money or I'm going to owe money? So bills, that's an energy output. Um, and then high priority self-love things. So what do I want to do to balance all that out that's going to feel nourishing to me? So sometimes we think, oh, I'm going to take a class and we got to put it in the same category as this is where my time is scheduled out. So I'm out for that time. But then that's wonky in our energy because we really wanted to take that class. Like it was going to make us feel good. So it's good to acknowledge that's actually an energy in experience is when you're nourishing and taking care of yourself. That's an energy in, not an energy out. Unless someone's making you take the class or something, then that's an energy out. The energy in is going to be all those things that make you feel good. So I'm scheduling in yoga, writing smoothies in there, oil pulling, park time with the kids, putting those on my calendar, even if they move, remember, so that I see that I have energy coming in while also energy going out. Now, some of those things scheduled already on my schedule right now required is a business session. And to me, that's also an equal thing because I get at the same time I give. So those might even be neutral charges for me, even though my energy is required there, so I can't be anywhere else. I am assigning myself to that place, but in that place, I'm not going to be depleted. See, I'm going to get energy and energy out. So it's going to be like a neutral space. So actually, all the things that I've scheduled because I love what I do are like neutral spots. I don't really have anything on my schedule that feels like energy out right now. So if that is true, then that makes me go, I would need to find somewhere where I'm in service, that I do my service and maybe it puts me out a little to do it because I need that exchange of energy out for all the energy in that I'm getting, and that will actually keep the flow of my energy body going better. So I'm going to write down. So it can help if you can't just look at your calendar and be like, oh, this is out, this is in, this is out, this is in. I mean, my perspective is pretty positive. So when I say, oh, I have a work appointment, I'm actually like, that's a neutral zone. It's an equal exchange of energy. So then I'm like, oh, my zone's all pretty neutral. And then I add in all these things that feed me, which makes it really positive. And so I need to be giving out energy. Okay. And then I think I do balance out because I'm a mother. So I want to counterbalance that for all you moms out there, parents out there, to recognize I don't need to keep giving because everything I do brings me joy. When I really am raising children, I am putting out all the time. So it's actually essential. It's great that I'm doing something I love. If you're not doing something you love, that might be a negative where you need to then add in more positives. But if you're doing something you love and you have all these neutrals, but you're also a parent and you have all these gifts, then it's really important to make sure that you have things that fill you up, okay, that make you feel full. So you have that fair exchange of energy. So after you've taken time to write that, we're just going to do a little breathing exercise. So go ahead and breathe up the spine to the top of the head and out the top of the head like a fountain circling around to cool at the base and again move up the spinal cord. So we're breathing just like the tube torus. And this is actually our abundance field. We want to make sure we are always in this flow of energy, never overextending and never being too contracting over the energy. It's just moving through us. We are just a conduit for it. So as we breathe, and then we allow the remembrance of all the things that are required of us, and all the things that are coming in for us. I'm also inviting magical surprises and bonuses to balance out our giving out stuff because we know those exist. So knowing I feel to be in perfect harmony, to be in balance of energies. And I'm just going to ask my energy body, my field, to go ahead and allow with this tube Taurus energy that's flowing anything that is necessary in the moment to continue to keep me in balance, to come to my attention in the moment. So that could be a thought coming in, a remembrance, a phone call, a text, knowing where I need to place my energy next. And when that thing departs, allowing it to depart and return again as necessary. So I want to pick a couple of stone cards that I'm going to personally use as something to support me this cycle. There's lots of things that can be our allies. I spoke a little bit about this on the Sunday embodiment practices I'm doing on Sundays now. So you can go to YouTube and history and find that, where I'm talking a little bit about some of the allies that I use and what that means. But crystals are can be a great ally to support us in the things that we're doing. Just one or two at a time can be great. So polychrome jasper, I'm gonna let that one be here with us. And amethyst crystal. So if you have one of those or you want to get one of those, that's great. So amethyst to me is third eye stuff. That's being in touch with your intuition, your inner guidance. So this cycle is really about being that observer, allowing yourself to. We've just gone through the whole practice that we did of what's going on, where are my resources going, where am I needed, okay, and then what am I going to do to replenish that energy. So if you missed that part of the video, you go back and do that exercise. So as we have a clear picture of our tube Taurus now running, receiving energy, giving energy. This amethyst is going to be locking in the remembrance that that's even going on. Okay. So as we go through the month and we feel ourselves giving out energy, the amethyst that I'm even just going to place in all of our fields right now, just as an ally. So just, and you can say no if you want to, but I'm just invoking the energy of amethyst to hang out with me this cycle. So every time I can carry it with me if I want, but every time I'm noticing either energy going out or coming in, I can remember that I'm being supported in that. That's part of my free energy machine of my body, my two Taurus working and functioning at a high level. So that is how we attract what we need and release what we don't, is to keep our two Taurus strong and running. That's why I like to do the practice of figuring out where everything's going and make sure I have stuff coming in too. So polychrome jasper this month is about belonging. So I'm going to read just a little bit. This is Judy Hall. I love her stuff. She also works with the subconscious mind. She's about one of the only card decks I use anymore. Really just about inner voice intuition and feeling inner guidance. But as far as allies go, I like to use specific allies or alchemical frequencies, which we'll do another time. But so this particular stone is a shamanic stone that helps us travel between worlds. So this between worlds thing right now would be really like the old world of where you have lived, what you've been thinking and doing and processing things in this way. And maybe it hasn't been super great. Maybe there's been some issues. So now we're moving between worlds. We're in the membrane. This full moon is like very membranic. It's really like thick and it contains pieces of both worlds. So it contains all the stuff we're like moving out of, but it also contains what we're being drawn into and wanting to express more of. So this stone that we pulled, polychrome jasper, is like a shamanic tool. So by invoking this into our field, it's like, hey, help me move between worlds here. Help me feel a new sense of belonging in myself first. You know, like secondly, what is going on externally. It's not really about people accepting us, but it is about inner acceptance and feeling like you belong in your body, you belong in your present self and situation. So invoking right now, hey, I'm ready to feel a sense of total home and acceptance and belonging in my own inner body vessel. So I'm taking that, asking to take that with me into this next cycle. As I allow energy out and energy in, I am able to remain observer and be sovereign over this body vessel. That's really all we want, is to be able to move with a constant supply of free energy, which is our connection to source, by the way we give exchange energy in the world. That's also creating a Taurus experience with everyone we interact with. And we need to set the intention first. We need to claim that space in our own body before it can even happen with somebody else. You know, if we're like, oh, we need to exchange free energy, or we need free energy to be the thing, but we haven't tapped into it ourselves in our own body, then we're not going to see it in the world. And that's why it keeps not happening on the large scale that we want it to. It's because it needs to happen full on in here. So if you missed the practice mapping that I did earlier on in the video, when this is over, just go back and rewatch and do those exercises so you see where your energy is going and where it's coming in. And that helps to move out into the cycle, very conscious that you are sovereign. And when that sovereignty is threatened by either an inner thought, which is usually what it is, some sabotage, old way coming through the membrane, but then we reach for the polychrome jasper and we're like, keep me in the sense of new belonging, like help me move through this membrane. That old thought will be something like, oh, look, you're you're doing too much for other people. You're giving like too much. That also might be a correct voice. That might be the new balance voice. Or it might be like you should be XYZ, or this you're working so you're depleting yourself. Even if you've already decided that your work is also nourishing you. So if that's the new thought, the old thought's going to be the defeating thought. And then we move again through the membrane. So with that, I'm going to bring this video to a close. I'm going to do that by asking you to close your eyes with me, to come into honoring of sacred space and all the elements that are present. I'm going to choose embodiment of the things we've moved through and to continue in awareness throughout this day and add to the ceremony as much as needs be. Let it remain open but impenetrable by anything that would thwart. So I'm aware again of the moon and the influence of the configuration right now, how propelling it is into this next phase. So let us go with exuberance and joy and hope and faith in ourselves. So we can do this. We were built for this. Until next time.